All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel here. Chris McMahon, local real estate agent right here in the capital region. And we're going to be going over January 2024's market report, the first one for this year here. As always, we always cover in the back month because the numbers are hot off the presses just a couple days ago. So we're going to cover the whole capital region, then some specific areas in the capital region that we always do. And if you're in the market to buy or sell a home anytime in the next 3 to 6 months, or even in 2024 as a whole, reach out and get a hold of me today. My information is down below. I'll do your own private video of the area that you're looking in or that you're selling in, so you know what the market is going on there. You know the prices, the valuations, all that good stuff. I'll get you that information. Just got to reach out to me. I'll get your video made for you. But with that being said, let's jump in here. Let's take a look at the market report. We're going to start off covering the capital region as a whole. And here we go. For right now, we're covering just single family homes in this video. I do an investment video, but that comes out in a week or so. So let's check this out here. Right now, active listings on the decline for the second month in a row. We're down to 1654, where our peak 2 months ago was just over 2,000. So we're down about 500 active listings right now. But a good sign we're seeing right here is this right here is our new listings. Our new listings jumps from 548 to 760. So there was a pretty good jump in there. I was just on a meeting today, a national meeting with other real estate agents that I'm a part of. And there are some signs across the country of the real estate market starting to heat up. So a lot of times when you're seeing that on the area, it reflects over here as well. And we're seeing that over here with this number of new listings bumping up here. So this could be a hot spring for new listings going out there. But we'll see as we get closer to that, how that all pans out. Let's check out the average sales price down again for the second month in a row from 337 as it was there down to 322. So it came down a little bit. Still looks like it was a bit higher than it was a year ago at this time. Coming down here, absorption rate. Absorption rate is down again for the second month in a row. We've dipped right below 2 months, so no more houses came on the market today. In about just under 2 months, we will be out of inventory and nothing left to sell. So the sold to list ratio slid a little bit as well, but not much. Still hovered around that 98% mark. And the days on the market has jumped from 26 days on the market to just over a month to 34 days. And one of my favorite spots that we go down here and check, where are the movers and shakers? Where are things going? Right here, because we got to combine these two compared to this one, because these are in increments of 100,000. These two are at 50, coming up to it. But this is about that 200 to 300 range. We had about 190 sales, a little over 190 sales for the month of January. That 300 to 400 range, there was 125 sales. That 500 plus is coming in next with 86. So a pretty decent amount of 500,000 plus houses being sold that last month. But that big area is that 200 to 300 range is where we're seeing the bulk of these going in. All right, let's come up here. Next thing we're going to check out, we're going to check Saratoga Springs next for January 2024. And again, we just want to look at the active and the new listings right now. So we're seeing this trend again. Active listings is sliding down a little bit. It dropped from 105 down to 95, so it came down 10. But new listings did jump from 26 to 32. So we saw that new listing jump up. This is the same trend we saw in the capital region as a whole. Now we're coming over here, and we've got our number of average sales price was 536. That went up to almost, 569. Right there. So we're seeing an increase in the average sales price in Saratoga Springs. Absorption rate dropped to 2.5 months. So it's over the capital region's average, but still on the downslope. So staying consistent with the capital region's average in that aspect. Right over here, list to sold ratio, a little bit lower. We're at about 97%, so a percent lower than the capital region. Days on the market took a hit. We're just below a month at 96 days. And where are most of the homes going in this area? That 500 plus range right here. They had 7 homes in that 500 plus range, 3 in the 300 to 400 range, and the 250 to 300 range is 3. So let's come up here. Let's check our next spot. We're going to take a look at Queensbury right now. So Active listings in Queensbury sliding down for the second month in a row, pretty consistent, down to 19, down from 23. Now, this is a little bit different because it was curving up in the capital region as a whole, but in Queensbury, it slid a little bit from 15 to 11 new active listings coming out there. And let's take a look at the average sales price here was at 340. That did jump. That took a big jump, about 100,000 from 340 to 446. So that's a pretty big jump in the average sales price in that area. But the absorption rate, obviously, we've got these numbers coming down up here, is sliding down as well for the second month in a row, down to just under a month is the absorption rate in Queensbury. The list to sold ratio, pretty healthy, 98%. And we got days on the market is actually going up here, a pretty significant amount. It was at 2 weeks the previous month to end the year, and now we're sitting at just under a month at 26 days. And where are the movers and shakers in this area? That 3 to 400 range, we got 3. That 2 to 300 range has got 3 as well. So there's kind of tie in that. Both those $100,000 increments are getting 3. All right, next place we're going to check out. Let's take a look at Ballston Spa. Ballston Spa right next to Saratoga. And here we go. Again, so the trend is downwards. The number of active listings from 24 to 22, but really not that much. We're only talking 2 listings, so not a real significant change in Ballston Spa, but slightly down. The number of new listings is going up, 19 up to 28. So we got a pretty good jump, almost 10. And Ballston Spa for the active listings. So that's pretty significant right there. We got listing prices. So the average sales price right here seems a little bit consistent, huh? We had 414 or 415 2 months ago. 406 came down a little bit to 402. So it's dropped a little bit over the last couple of months, but compared to what we saw earlier in the year, some peaks and valleys over here, it's actually staying pretty consistently low or consistent to where it's at right now. Absorption rate, again, coming down. It's been on a downward slide since August, but we're hitting a low at just over a month. List to sold ratio is at over 100%, so they're getting more than they're listing for. It's 101% in that area. Days on the market has dropped to 25 from 28, so 3 days it came down. And the most sales are coming in that 3 to 400 bracket with 7, because even the 2 to 300 is getting 4. We have 3 over that 500 half mil mark. So let's come up here. Check out our next spot. We just did Ballston Spa. We're going to hit up Albany here, and we'll see what Albany's got to offer us this month. All right. Looking familiar here. Right now, Queensbury's the only one that was a little bit different, but we have a slide down here, went from 100 down to 69. So a pretty good jump or drop in the number of active listings. But new listings popped up from 41 to 45. Right over here, average sales price dropped for the second month in a row, is at 260, almost to 261, coming down to 253. So it came down about 7,000, 8,000. Absorption rate, again, second month in a row, it dropped down to just over a month. Sold to list ratio is at 99%, so almost 100%. We haven't seen that below 100% in Albany since about, looks like, March of last year, last year. So it's been over 100% that whole time, so we just dropped a little bit down there. Days on the market is increasing. Second month in a row, we're at 18. It was 14 last time. So where's the biggest movers going in this one? Right here, that 2 to 300 range, we got about, 25, 34 in this range right here. We have 11 in that 3 to 400 range. Only 1 in the 500 plus in Albany. Next spot, we're going to check out Clifton Park. This is kind of the middle between Saratoga and Albany. And we've got, again, same patterns with these graphs. If you're taking a look at that, 53 down to 44, down to 41 for active listings. That's the trend over the last 2 months. Right here, we've got this going on. The new listings were at a low here for the year at 14, and it's spiked back up to 25. So again, same as Ballston Spa, a pretty good jump of about 10. Right over here, we've got our listing prices. We got 421,000 last month. It did go up to 429. So a little bit of a bump as far as the average sales price. The absorption rate in months down for the third month in a row, but we still are over a month, at about a month and a third for that one. List sold ratio was at 100%, 101 last time. It's going up again at 103. So look at this. It's actually not the highest. It peaked right here in July at 100, almost 108%. But it's been over the past year over 100% in Clifton Park for the list sold to list ratio, and it's going up again at 103. So this is an area that buyers are buying in. It looks like there's got to be getting some competition for these homes in that area. So if you're a seller in Clifton Park, something to keep note of because they're getting more than what they're listing for. So the competition appears to be pretty good out in that area as far as people wanting to move there and buy homes. Average days on the market was 11. Looks like we got a pretty decent spike up to 26. And where most of these homes, what is the price range that's getting the most sales? Right here, we've got 7 and that 2 to 300 range. At 3 to 400, we're getting 4. The most actually is 8 right here for that 500 plus range in Clifton Park. So not only they're getting competition, they're getting good or getting over their asking, they're getting a pretty good buck for it as well. So next one we're going to take a look at here is Lake George. We're going to wrap it up here with a little bit of stuff up in Warren County and northern Saratoga County. So let's take a look at Lake George right now. A little vacation spot. So it's always fun. I like to check out Lake George because it is such a vacation area up there. But active listings went from 34 down to 26. Again, this little increase right here that we're seeing in most of the areas went from 4 to 5. So almost even with it being not a lot of increase in that, but a little bit. So average sales price in there increased as well. Went from just under 500,000 to 655,000. So it doesn't look like a big rise right here, does it? But if you take this into account that we're factoring in this month back in June, where there was $2.6 million for the average sales price, which is pretty significant, that it makes this look like it's not as big of a jump as it is, but it's actually over what 150,000 plus that jump is right there. So some increase in prices there. Absorption rate, always a pretty high absorption rate compared to the rest of the capital region in Lake George, as we've seen from past videos. We're at about 4 months right there. And the list of sold ratio is getting about 94.3%. So lowest we've seen in the capital region. But if you're selling a $2.6 million house, still getting a pretty good dollar for it. Days on the market, again, 2-month slide right here. We're at 22, so we're at about 3 weeks. And where are these places selling? How many sales have we got? Not a ton of sales this month. Only 2 right here, but both of them sold for over 500,000. So the houses that sold were pretty big ticket items there for that, for Lake George. Now come down here. We're going to hit up. Let's hit South Glens Falls, and then we'll wrap up with Glens Falls and our last one here. And we've got active listings up to 11 from 9. New listings dropped, okay? They were at 9, and it slid. So this is Queensberry and Glens Falls right next to each other here. Both slid on that one. Every place else was up, but they went from 9 down to 7. The numbers aren't real high in Glens Falls, so not a huge difference. Yeah, we're seeing a down spike, but it was only really 2 houses. But it's not a huge area either, so it's just something to keep in mind. The average sales price dropped from 325 down to 258, so a pretty decent drop right there. Absorption rate actually went up from a month and a quarter to a month and a half. List sold ratio went from 100.5 up to 101, so jumped about 1% this month. Days on the market, really short. Last time it was 2.3 days on the market to end the year in 23. It's up to about 3 weeks now, just under 3 weeks at 21 days. And most of these houses that we're looking at are moving in that 2 to 250 range, as we got right here, and tied with the 250 to 300. So we've been combining them just because these are at that 100,000 increments. So it's really, we got 6 in this area compared to 1 in the 3 to 400 range right there. So checking out the last area, we're going to wrap up with Glens Falls here. There we go. Glens Falls dropping down. December was 18 for active listings. Now it's 11. But here's that spike we see right here, huh? We have 3 as far as new listings, now up to 9. So jumped a pretty decent amount for that area, actually. Average sales price down for the second consecutive month to 221. Absorption rate is at about a month. List sold ratio is just under 100%. Days on the market is at 3 weeks, which drops slightly, but not a whole heck of a lot. And where are most of these coming in at? Right here, the 2 to 250 range had 6. The 250 to 300 range had 2. So both of these combined for 8, which takes out that one right there. So all right, so that is our recap for the capital region here. So, and again, if there's an area you're specifically you want more information about, reach out, get a hold of me. My information is down below. Be more than happy to do that private video for you, or even jump on a Zoom call. We can kind of pull up the MLS. We can go through everything together. Check me out. Subscribe to the channel if you've not had a chance to see any of the other videos. I got a ton of videos coming out every month all about the capital region. I do market reports, spotlights in different areas, businesses, and stuff like that. So subscribe to the channel. Check out those other videos, and I will see you guys next month on the next market report.